Alright guys, so this is my first live stream in a while, so I'm just going to wait for people to show up. I don't know how many people are actually going to even end up seeing this, but I did put a poll on the community tab on my channel, and I wanted people to see, I wanted to ask, and before I get into this, yeah, you're probably going to hear squeak in the background, so if you hear, that's just her making noise. But I put a poll on the community tab of my channel to see if anybody was interested in me doing a live stream for 5,000 subs, and I wasn't expecting anyone to even vote on it, but I actually got 3 votes. So the will of the people. I'm doing a live stream. I don't know how long I'm gonna stay on. Hopefully some people join in. I'm doing this on my iPad. Oh, hey, how's it going? How's it going? So, yeah, I do this on my iPad, so I'm just trying to make sure everything is stable here. But I'm going to wait a little bit longer. I don't really have anything to talk about, major anyway, but I just want to say thanks to everybody who has supported the channel. I know that, I've evolved a lot over the years. When I first started this channel, I was in middle school, and it was nothing more than a hobby for me. And when I say hobby, I don't mean that like this was always intended to be my job or anything like that now. It's more that it was something that I did just for fun. I didn't put a lot of any really production value into my videos back then, and it was just more so like, hey, I bought this cool tech accessory or new phone or whatever, and I wanted to show it off, and so that's what it was. But as things have evolved and so has the channel and everything, it's become more of a way that I can showcase unique products and things that I personally think are less visible or less we'll just say they're underrated, and I think they deserve more airtime. So like some of the most popular videos are those the Cat S61 videos. I think that phone was underrated in a lot of ways. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure you've seen my videos where I bring up the real issues with the phone and how it's got reliability issues and build quality issues, and although they do tend to stand up to their warranty, the process isn't exactly easy. I give you the full story. The same is true with the Zero Breeze. To me, the Zero Breeze was valuable and indispensable at times when it was super hot outside, but I think they're advertising it completely wrong. In their advertisements, they give the impression that it's some sort of magical cooling device, and it has the same power of an air conditioner that you put like a window unit in that little tiny package, and you can cool down any a large room or the inside of a car when it's baking in the sun. That in reality, that's not true. I think that certainly the price should also come down a lot now that they have perfected the design and stuff, and hopefully that does in the future, because I can tell you, you can go on Alibaba, you can find some of these different little AC units, and they're not as expensive as they're asking. Yes, the finishing is better on the Zero Breeze, but anyway. So that's another product that I think was very much underrated and is unknown, and didn't have a whole lot of coverage on YouTube. And the same is true for a lot of the different things that I do. So I'm always just trying to look out for different products that people might be interested in and that I personally find interesting. Again, I don't want you guys to think. It's hard for me to hold this like this. I don't want you guys to think that I would ever bring forth a product and give it my seal of approval if it's not something that I wouldn't personally watch. Use. So I'm not going to give you guys a thumbs up on a product if it's not something that I would be willing to use. And actually, if you've seen, I've actually even mentioned a product and told you guys I wasn't happy with it, even though it was a product that a bunch of other YouTubers have either been, hey, what's up, man? Yeah, I appreciate it. That was a long time ago. That's some OG videos from like 2015. Yeah, no, the if you guys saw my video on the what was it, the Max Oak Bluetti, their their smaller unit. I forget the name, but anyway, you know what I'm talking about. It's that little solar generator, that super slim one. And a lot of other channels have been like, oh, this thing is great, it's amazing. Dude, I slammed that thing. I slammed it because between the design being unstable because the foot on the bottom wasn't very good, and the fact that the voltage of the AC output was so low, it was unusable. It was unusable for my needs. And then you combine that with the fact that the 12-volt output wasn't regulated. It's not worth the money. You know what I mean? There's so many better options out there, whether you pay a little more and you go up on the scale, or you pay a little less, or even if you use that same money, or even if you pay slightly less, you could get the Suwa Oki one for that basically was the exact same unit, just in a different shell, and actually a better, more stable base platform too. So I know that a lot of people would have disagreed with me on that, and you know, I didn't care, because at the end of the day, it's about what is a good product and what isn't. So I'm gonna try and stay on for a long time, a while, I guess. We'll see how long I'll be on. I'm not gonna stretch it on forever, but I do want to give anybody that comes on a chance to ask any questions. If you have any questions about the channel, or maybe what motivated me to start it, or any questions about that, if I can answer it, I definitely will. I also would like to hear from you guys on what different topics that you might be interested in. Let's see. You said, and then under review, you were like, if you have $300 for the speaker, get a speaker. You only had $200 trying to get some food. Yeah, I mean, I'm of the opinion that and I understand that there are some. I'm never gonna talk down on somebody who doesn't have doesn't have the disposable income for something. Like, it's a very I think it's a very out of touch viewpoint to say, oh well, if you don't have the money for something, then just save up and then you'll have the money. Because a lot of times that's not a viable option for a lot of people to have that much money locked away to make some sort of non-essential purchase. So I do understand and empathize with that. But in certain cases, I will say, listen, if you're willing to buy something, then just wait a little longer and save that extra 10-15% and get the better product. I think a lot of people are like, oh well, I really want this, but I don't want to spend it, so what can I get that would be almost as good as that? And I don't know if you guys ever watch Nick Shabazz, but he does like gear reviews and stuff and knife reviews, and I totally agree with his opinion, which is that, dude, if you're gonna be that focused on a product that you like and you're just trying to find something to replace that because it's too expensive, just save up and get the thing that you really want, because you're gonna end up hating yourself for buying something that's cheaper. So, with that respect, thanks, man. Yeah, no, it's I never thought I'd get here, but it's because of my viewers and subscribers, and my supporters that I got here. So, here's to getting us to 10,000 at some point. I definitely appreciate all the support. But yeah, no, I think that's very true. Meg brings up an excellent point, that it's just that something that I said in that old video, which is, a lot of times people get so nitpicky about that last 10 to 15% of the price of something, and they're willing to sacrifice so much quality just to save, like I said, 15 to 20%. And when it comes to tech, gear, electronics, I mean, hell, even buying like a classic or used car, that 10 to 15% can make a huge difference in ultimately what your experience is with that thing. So, I'm of the opinion that if it's only that small of an amount outside your budget, unless it's something that you need today, you're better off saving up for it. You're better off putting away that extra money and then accumulating the extra amount you need to get the better version. Um, I'm very much a believer in the whole buy once, cry once philosophy. The idea that if you save up the money and the resources to get a higher quality version of a product, you're going to be much better off than trying to repeatedly buy uh, lesser versions that keep failing. Like, this is the same thing that's true of buying tools. So you guys know that I do. Um, where'd I get my hair cut? Actually, my girlfriend cut my hair last time in quarantine, but she's back home right now, so she can't cut my hair. So it's gonna be getting a little crazy in the next couple weeks, but hopefully I'll be able to get another haircut. Yeah, definitely my hair would be 8-man status if it wasn't for her cutting my hair. So shout out to my girlfriend for cutting my hair. Um, Shoot, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, tools. Yeah, so I mean it I know. Yeah. Oh yeah, Mig. Sorry, I missed your messages there. Yeah. No, Harman Kardon for sure. They make good stuff. I mean, it's the parent company of JBL, right? So, um, you got the Onyx Studio 5. Oh yeah. No, the Studio. I've always loved the Studio series. I think in the beginning, my only issue with the Studio series was uh, the um, the smaller battery capacity. And oh, guys, I don't want to come across as that annoying bastard that's always asking for likes. But if you hit like on the stream, it'll really help it get out to more of my subscribers, because YouTube's algorithm is pretty poor, and it won't promote or even send out notifications for the stream unless it's getting more likes. So any interaction is appreciated. Um, but yeah, the Onyx Studios in the beginning, they had less battery life, but I think they've you know focused more on yeah, like you're saying, the audio files for sure. Um, it's a great casual listening device for sure. I mean, if you're somebody like me and you don't like headphones, I just don't like headphones. I just find them way too isolating. Having a nice quality portable speaker is definitely the way to go. Um, we got Mick here saying it's normally $500. Dude, you got it for 350. Wow, no, that's a good deal. That's a very good deal. I remember when when the second gen first came out, they had the first gen on sale for like 189 or 199 at Best Buy and stuff. So I really seriously considered getting it because, or even as a gift for my dad, because they're such a good, just a good, simple, easy to use speaker with so many, decent, with so many decent features. And so since he wouldn't need all the fancy frills of the updated versions or higher grade Bluetooth, I guess, um, it would have been a great option. Um, I don't actually have the boombox, so actually, I don't have it with me, but I returned the boombox. I don't know if you guys saw the video where I then end up saying like I didn't like it very much, and so when I did the full review of the JBL boombox, I returned it because I felt like it didn't even compare in terms of frequency response with the JBL Extreme. So my JBL Extreme has seen better days, and I've already replaced the battery twice in it. The battery just seems to keep dying, and so at this point, the weak point for me on the JBL Extreme, and this could be different for those of you that don't carry it as much, but if you carry it as much as I do, um, I usually almost always have it on me. The little metal hooks where the little metal loops where the strap connects always eventually wear through and they fail. And so I've actually replaced it using some scrap ones that I bought off eBay, but those are running out, and at this point I'm just getting tired of fixing it. So I replaced it with a JBL Extreme 2, and I'm very pleased to report that I'm happy with that. Now, if you guys are interested, I can totally do a review on that. I didn't do an unboxing because, well, it's been out for like 2 years now, and it's not exactly news, and I figured other channels at this point could do it better than I could. But if you guys are interested in my thoughts, I could totally do a review on it, because I've had it for 2 months, maybe 2 months. So if I give it a few more weeks, I can do a couple month review on it. And the big thing that I love about it is two things. The sound quality in terms of frequency response is actually much better than the JBL Extreme, the first edition. I noticed that the low-end frequency response is great. And it's not just that it bumps bass, but that it actually reproduces low-end frequency sounds much, much better. In addition, obviously, you've got the big loops where the strap attaches to. Yeah, those are no longer the weak point. I can tell you that much, because of these big loops on there. Mig says the Harman Kardon goes all the way down to 30 hertz, bro. Yeah, exactly. So the Harman Kardon is going to be your audiophile speaker. Now, I think with the new JBL Extreme 2, they drastically improved the low end frequency response as well, and I think it gets down to 40 hertz. So it's not going to be on the level of the studio, but it's definitely close. And it sounds a hell of a lot better than the first gen JBL. Also, I think I actually used the first gen JBL so much. I think that some of the driver diaphragms were wearing out, because I would keep getting hey, how's it going? But I think I started getting distortion that would come and go, and also the other thing is I've actually had a previous, because I've had a couple at least of the JBL Extremes, the first gen ones, and the charging port would actually wear out, and to the point where I wouldn't make contact anymore, and it was just it was really weird. I mean, again, I use the thing a lot, so I understand that with time it it wears out, but definitely that was a disappointing thing. And I think with the new one, inside the barrel plug charging port, there's actually 2 side contacts instead of just one, so that should lessen the load on the new charging port on the JBL Extreme 2. So let's see if we got any more comments. Oh yeah, and again, I don't want to be that guy begging for likes, but if you want to help out, make sure this gets to all my other subscribers. Definitely like the stream. That lets YouTube know that they should actually do their job and send it to my other subscribers. I'm getting real tired of YouTube not sending out notifications, but that's what they do. So, yeah, no, but 5,000 subscribers, I mean, it really happened pretty quick. If you guys have been following, obviously, the situation with, well, the whole pandemic and everything, YouTube's taken an interesting stance on all this. So in the beginning, they were basically demonetizing and deranking any video that mentioned the sea flu, right? The beer flu, whatever. And then it continued that way until people kept having to come up with different words to talk about it, and different terms to like skirt the algorithms and the detection. But as time has gone on, it seems like they're reversing their opinion, because they're realizing, yeah, you know what, maybe we shouldn't be blindly pushing the WHO as the only reliable source of information on this, when the WHO actually really dropped the ball on the entire situation. Now, this channel isn't political, and I want to stress that I don't want to see it get super political. Hey, how's it going? I don't want to see it get super political in here, but I do want to stress that it is frustrating that YouTube was doing that. Now, if you guys have seen my coronavirus mask video where I did a review of a really good basic mask, I got a lot of comments on that, and I want to stress I'm going to do an update video on that mask, sort of a review and how-to on it, because there's a couple adjustments that you can do on there to make it much more usable and circumvent any bad manufacturing that might be an issue. But actually, one of the things is that video for me on my end was pretty much demonetized almost instantly, and so it's been frustrating in that regard. That I have gotten a lot of views on that video, but it really hasn't supported the channel very much at all. Only recently, though, they did remonetize the video, and so that's what I was talking about with regards to YouTube seeming to change their stance on this. I also want to know from you guys if you'd be interested in. I'm going to do possibly another solar generator video. To me, it's just they're pretty cool, and more importantly, I think for a lot of people, they're pretty useful because, especially if you live in an apartment building, or you live in a condo, or basically a townhouse, or something, any place that you don't have the ability to have any outside space outside your house where you can run a generator. If there is a power failure, something like that could actually be quite useful. And I've seen a lot of people end up using them not really as solar generators, but more just as like backup power sources, right? Because you can still charge them from your car, from a 12-volt source, or you can charge them from a place that has municipal power. And that's what they're useful for. But in a pinch, for me, they're more for use at events and stuff, and the backup power ability is just sort of a side effect of having that much power. So I will be looking at a couple different ones to do videos on, and also if you guys are interested in pandemic related videos, I will be coming out with something like that as well. I'm going to be coming out with a video on how to avoid fomites, which is the transmission of a pathogen via contaminated surfaces. I will also do a video on proper mask disinfection and removal. So let's say you go out and you're in a high traffic area and you want to remove that mask safely. I'll do a video on that as well. So Mig says, bro, the Beats Pill XL sucks. Yeah, I had the first gen pill. So we're talking way before Apple ever owned Beats, and then I had that for a while, and then it kept. I'm trying to remember exactly what happened to it. I think it kept breaking, and then I ended up upgrading to the Pill XL, which at the time I will say was a pretty nice speaker. It certainly got louder than anything in the comparable size category, and the handle, I gotta say, the handle was really nice. I loved that there was a pass-through handle, and you could get a really strong grip on it and just carry it around. Whereas, like the JBL Extreme or the Extreme 2, your real only option to get a good grip on, you really can't get a good grip on it, especially since, I've got smaller hands. There's no way I can get my hand all the way around the JBL Extreme or the Extreme 2. So my only option is the strap. So it is nice having the handle. I know that they did that recall, so I did get some money from that, but I ended up making my money back from that. But I held out for a while because I personally hadn't had, and maybe that wasn't the smartest thing, right? Maybe because of the dangers of the battery or whatever, I should have just sent it back in immediately. But there wasn't back then, when was that, like 2014 maybe, 2015? I don't remember exactly what year it was. But there wasn't a good alternative. And so at the time I didn't swap it out, or I didn't send it back in until there was a good alternative. And then after that, once I found the JBL Extreme, that's when I decided to send it in, because I was like, all right,
I can find a worthy replacement for that speaker, and then I'll be able to have something else, because I wasn't going to be caught without a speaker, since I'd gotten so used to listening to music and stuff on the speaker. So okay, going forward, also, I don't know if anybody has said anything in the comments. No, about, let's see. Yeah. I want to know exactly what you guys are interested in seeing, so I'm not sure too many more people are going to join. Again, if you have joined recently, if you could do me a big favor and just like the stream. I don't want to be the guy begging for likes here, but the reason I ask is just because it helps with the YouTube algorithms in making sure that this gets out to all my subscribers. And again, sorry about that. That's Squeak. She's in the background. Making noise as she always does. But yeah, how are you guys doing though out there? Honestly, I mean, considering everything that's going on with the situation with the pandemic, have you guys been affected? Has your income been affected? Have you guys gotten your stimulus check yet? I can tell you, I have not gotten my check yet, despite the fact that I'm supposed to get one. So that's pretty frustrating. Congress is out there talking about getting another bill through, and I don't even have my first check. So, but yeah, you know what? Hopefully things. Yeah, quarantine. Yeah, no, it does suck. No, I think the frustrating thing is, it's just a bunch of bickering on both sides, and it's frustrating because, oh, you got your check? Nice. Yeah. I haven't got. Did you get that? Did you get your check? Was it a physical check, or did you get a direct deposit? Because the problem with my situation is I never put my direct deposit. Oh, okay, all right. Well then maybe it's my. There is hope, because you know what I'm worried about is I'm not gonna get mine until like September. That's what I'm worried about. But yeah. The problem is when I filed my taxes last year, I didn't put my banking information on there, and then when I filed this year, I think I filed too late, like the cutoff to when they would, be able to use that new banking information before they put you in the physical check category. I filed too late, I think, and I don't think they got my information, so they're definitely sending me a physical check. And of course, did the IRS tool work for you? Because every time I go on the IRS portal, it gives me the same information not available. So at this point, I've just resigned myself to the fact that it's just going to be the hope and pray and wait category. Yeah. So I don't know. Mustang versus crowd. Yeah, I remember those memes. Those that was a top meme right there. Yeah, let's see. Sarah says, I filed late last year. I was worried too, but it finally came. I bet you'll get yours later. Yeah, I really do hope I get it. It's not that I necessarily absolutely depend on it for sure, but it definitely would be a nice relief. And actually, not to get off topic here, but again, to everybody that's joined in, I just want to say thank you so much if you're a supporter or a subscriber or both to the channel. You guys are the reason why I can do this. You're the reason why I do the videos that I do, and why the channel has gotten to where it is, and I'm hoping that we can continue to grow together. I think, yes, occasionally there's going to be the occasional a-hole comment. That's true with any channel, but with my channel, I do feel like, at least with my core viewer base, we really do have a good set of people, and people like to help each other out, and they're interested in tech, cars, and reviews, and all the stuff that I do, and so I do appreciate there being a positive community here. So thank you so much. But yeah, so let me see what the comments are saying. Let's see. Mig says, "What is your favorite all-time favorite car?" Okay, yeah. I don't know if you guys have seen my videos, but I'm kind of I'm a Lincoln guy, and I know that it's a little bit strange for someone my age to be into Lincolns, but that's my favorite car brand. You know, and so if I had to rank my favorite all-time car, you know, I hate to narrow it down to one because there's so many cars that I love. But I would probably say it's a 79 Continental Mark V Bill Blass edition. And specifically, if you have ever seen the Mark V, the Bill Blass edition in 79 came in a two-tone color scheme. It was blue about 2/3 of the way up, and then like right below where the windows to the belt line starts, white the rest of the way, and then the hood was completely white and then blue just on the sides. And the interior, and there's actually two interiors for that year. There is a dark blue with white piping, and then there is a white leather with blue piping. That is the color combo that I like. It is the 79 Bill Blass edition with the white leather interior. I love that. Is my, it's got to be, I'll never say I know exactly what is my top car of all time, but for me, that's definitely my top 5. Laura asks, was the addition of the opera windows only on the Bill Blass edition? And Meg, I just saw your comment. I'll get to you in a second. No, in fact, on the Bill Blass, you remind me of a good point. The opera windows were standard on most Mark V editions, but actually on the Bill Blass, it also came with 2 types of available roof. So the standard was a canvas top. Right. Well, that's a good question. So thank you. So the standard was a canvas top, which simulates like a sail type material, like on a boat. And when it came with the canvas top, the opera window was deleted, so it was just a straight roof and no opera window. However, you could get an optional vinyl roof, which is actually what I prefer, and those came with the opera window, and those are pretty rare. That's my ideal color combo and full combo for the car is a 79 Mark V Bill Blass with the white leather interior and the vinyl top with the opera windows. Now, of that type, for that specific spec of the Mark V, I think only 500 were ever made. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure in that particular spec, they're exceedingly rare. So, Mig says, I heard Lincoln is thinking about bringing back the suicide doors like on Rolls Royces. Yeah, so they actually sort of have, but it's extremely limited edition. So with their Continental, they I think they have, was it 50 to 100, and then they did another run in 2019 or maybe 2020. They were supposed to do another run, but I think in 2018 or 19 they did a run of their Continentals where they sent them to a specific coach builder. They build, they actually build like limos and stuff, and they sent them to this. They were contracted, so it wasn't just like the dealer did it, but like this was actually done by Lincoln. They sent 50 or 100 to the coach builder to be lengthened by 6 inches, 7 inches maybe, and then in the back, so that the back was more luxurious, and then in addition, the rear doors were reoriented to be suicide doors. And so those are called the Coach Edition Continentals. I actually got to see one nearby in a dealership here in Pennsylvania. It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's a very nice car. There's something about the new Continentals that I love. That as far as a modern car, I really do like the look of it, but I still feel like it's kind of missing that Lincoln touch. It kind of, to me, looks a little bit too much like an Audi plus like a Jag, like the the F-Type, at least with the front end and the grille. It's just not. It's not. It doesn't scream Lincoln as much as I think it should, and maybe that's just me. And the other thing is the fact that it's so difficult to get chrome wheels on a Lincoln to me is kind of crazy. Like when I went to the dealer, I was like, hey, "What if I want chrome wheels on this?" Like, well, they only have it on the base side, wheel package. I'm like, okay, well, can I get that if I get the black label, which is like the top of the line spec or whatever? And they're like, oh no, it's not available with that. It's like you're kidding. You're telling me that on a Lincoln I can't get chrome wheels? Yeah, look, I know that it's kind of like out of fashion now, and it's not as popular as it was in like the early 2000s and stuff. But come on, if I should be able to get chrome wheels on a Lincoln, right? The fact that they've got these weird like sandboxed options where you can't combine them, right? Especially when you're spending like at the top end spec almost in some cases 95 grand, right, on a sedan. You should be able to just pick and choose what you want. It shouldn't be that difficult to get what you want. Like they had this other option where, they wouldn't let you get certain wood combinations for the the interior wood accents if you got a certain color leather. I mean, what's that about, right? What are the comments here? Bro, my favorite car, all-time car is a Dodge Demon and a Gen 4 and 5 Viper. Yeah, you know what? Those are both great vehicles. Specifically, the Demon, honestly, it's so amazing. It's incredible what they can do with, I think we are at the pinnacle of what is achievable under current emissions laws and all of that. I think as time goes on, they're going to be squeezing more, or squeezing tighter and tighter around regulations when it comes to what like these different automakers can make and build, and at that point, it's going to limit what you can do with an engine, pretty much with any car. But no, the Demon is absolutely incredible. It's basically proof. It's the last true expression of no replacement for displacement, right? You've got this giant engine, you've got this huge blower, and it's just, I mean, the sound when you punch that accelerator, it's incredible. Like I would love to actually get to sit in one, to ride in one. Man, if one day I could actually drive one, it'd be incredible. Those are like, I'd say, the last big true expression of muscle car identity and DNA. I think a lot of modern muscle cars kind of lose that. Like, I think with, for example, I'm a Ford guy, being a Lincoln guy, right? And I do love the Mustang, but I feel like, man, I mean, an EcoBoost just doesn't do a Mustang justice. You can't have a muscle car with a 2.3 liter, engine in there with twin turbos to try and make up for it. To me, that just, you got to have a V8, right? And I think that, because of all these emission laws and these regulations on meeting fuel economy targets and all this, all these automakers have tried to meet the regulations by selling more and more models with these small displacement turbocharged engines in an attempt to meet these regulations. But the problem is, if you drive these cars at all as aggressive as the marketing is, I mean, come on, it's a muscle car, right? You're supposed to punch it. The fuel economy is actually worse than a naturally aspirated V8 would be. So, yeah, I mean, I just think that at least with muscle cars, come on, give me a V8. And I think the same can be true of like big SUVs. Like, why the Lincoln Navigator doesn't come with a V8 or even just an option for a V8, it just frustrates me. Because instead of having that low level power, that low end torque of a V8, you have to deal with the turbo spool up. And I've driven one. Don't get me wrong, it's not like there's a ton of turbo lag, but it's there. And on a big SUV, I just want low RPM, low end torque. I don't want to have to deal with turbos. So, I mean, that's just me. Let's see what the comments say. Sorry if I've been rambling here. Lincoln Black labels are, they're great. Yeah, no, I mean, they are. They're the top of the line luxury for Lincoln, that's for sure. Very pricey, but if you're looking for ultimate luxury in an American luxury car, I mean, it's hard to beat Black Label trim cars for sure. You said you're right, bro. That is like a statement of Dodge that a muscle car does not have to have these aerodynamics and weird features to get supercar speed. Yeah, no, it is. You know what I love about muscle cars is that they're just a raw expression and a raw demonstration of power. They don't apologize for their muscularity or their power, their torque, their strength. It's just all there for the eye to see, and I think that's what draws me to muscle cars and also just old school American cars in general. I think if you look at old school American luxury cars and old school American sedans and old school American muscle cars, they're all very different cars that serve different purpose, right? The standard sedan was a people mover and a standard mode of transportation for the average American family, right? You get a sedan or you get a station wagon. If you want an ultimate luxury car, you would buy a full-size luxury sedan. That was the pinnacle of luxury. And if you wanted the best, the most amazing, and the most ideal depiction and embodiment of youthful strength, power, and just raw speed and acceleration, you would go with a muscle car because it was just, that's what it was. And I think all three of those, however different they might be, embody a very unapologetic nature, right? And I think that's what I love about old school American cars is they didn't make excuses for existing. They just were, right? You look at an old school luxury sedan. It's giant. It's massive. It's got chrome. It tells you it's there. It tells you it's luxury. The interior, the exterior, the front end arrives, 5 minutes before you do. It doesn't make an excuse for being. It doesn't like, oh well, luxury, but we also it's sporty and it's fuel efficient. No. It's just what it is, and that's it. If you don't like it, get lost, right? The same is true with muscle cars from back in the day, right? That's all it was. You could get bare bones muscle cars that were literally just a two-door coupe with a standard two-door coupe with a giant engine dropped into it. That's it. Same brakes. Sometimes they had manual steering, no air conditioning, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just a car with a big-ass engine in it. That's it. And they didn't apologize for it. They didn't try to say, oh, well, we made it eco-friendly, or, oh, it's, we did this, we did that, we made it more comfortable. No. That's all it was. And I love that. I love that about it. It was unapologetically just what it is. And then when it came to the sedans and the wagons, their goal was comfortable family transportation. And they didn't try and add any frills. They didn't try and add any unneeded BS. That's what it was. And honestly, I miss the days. It's funny, I miss days that I wasn't even alive. But I long for a time when automakers weren't afraid to make purpose-built vehicles for singular strength. So if you want to make a luxury car, its ultimate goal should be luxury and comfort and ride quality. Don't give me sport controls. Don't give me, twin turbos and boost the 0-60 time. Sure, don't put an absolute dog of an engine in there. But it's a luxury car. I don't care. I want it to be comfortable. That should be the first and most important goal, by far. And then the second most important goal should be having it look nice, all right? But that shouldn't come at the expense of the first goal. And then with muscle cars and sports cars, which are two slightly different categories, obviously. You know, muscle cars are more just raw power, where sports cars focus on controls. And yeah, I agree with you. Don't give me twin turbos. Mig says, don't give me twin turbos. Give me a supercharger. 100%. I'll take a blower over over a turbo any day. Just because if I'm gonna go through the trouble to get boost on an engine, then I might as well just have it be raw, no delay boost, even if it costs me a little bit of horsepower, or I mean a little bit of fuel economy, with regards to, you know, rotational drag on the engine. I mean, come on, let's be serious here. If you're gonna go through the trouble to put boost on an engine, then your focus should just be power. That should be it. With all these microscopic or small displacement twin turbo engines, turbocharged 4 and 6 cylinder engines, you're just running into the lag. Yeah, you're saying the lag can be real. It really can be. A lot of times when they do these small engines with the turbos on them, they're doing them, like I said, to meet the fuel economy standards. But oftentimes, when driven in real world conditions and not just at a constant speed on a dyno, they get worse mileage, because you got to think about the turbocharger is going to pull in more air, it's going to force in more air, and it has to mix with more fuel to combust. And yeah, it's going to give you more power, but it's going to make your fuel economy worse, or at the very bare minimum, pretty much the same as a V8 or a larger displacement naturally aspirated engine. So the way I see it is, you know, ideally the focus would be on smaller economy cars. You either go with, if it's a really small car, a standard naturally aspirated inline 4 or 4-cylinder engine, or you go with a V6 that's naturally aspirated. And then if you want to step it up, you go to a V8, and if you want even more power, you turbocharge or you supercharge that V8. But none of this turbo stuff for small engines, all it does is make them way more complex and just more likely to fail. You know, it's just, I mean, what can you say, right? A turbo has oil galleys and oil feed issues, and you know what? If you have oil feed issues in a turbo, that's the end of the turbo, right? And it's not exactly cheap to replace a turbo. So I'm of the opinion that we should be making sure that we get rid of these small displacement turbocharged engines, but I don't think that's going to happen. You know, I think with the way that the regulations are, it's going to just keep getting worse. So it's a sad truth. Let's see. Yeah, no, that's exactly right, man. It's all the regulations. So to anybody that's just joined, I just want to say, again, this is just a stream. We're just talking. We're not doing anything in terms of, I don't have any fixed topic for this discussion. And you hearing background noise? That's Squeak. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the support. You guys are why this channel exists. You guys are why this channel has made it to where it is. And you guys are going to be definitely the reason why it continues to grow. And I really appreciate it. I'm hopeful that we can make it to 10,000. You know, that's our next goal. That's my next milestone. I am humbled deeply by the even the idea that 5,000 of you want to see me and what I have to say about tech and repairs and how-tos and reviews. The fact that you guys want to hear my opinion means a ton to me, so I really do appreciate it. I'm gonna probably stay on for another 10 minutes. Oh yeah. Oh, you remember? Okay, so Mig says, I remember the iPhone 7 Plus unboxing with the gloves. You know what? It's so frustrating because some people, I swear, don't use their brain. Because somebody recently commented on the video you know, oh, LOL, bro. You know, it's not like the phone has a virus. You know, if you actually watch the video, you'd see I said I don't want to scratch or get fingerprints or contaminants on this glossy aluminum back phone. That's why I'm wearing gloves. But I guess with the corona, everybody seems to think that the reason I'm wearing gloves is to protect me from the phone virus or something. No, it's because I don't want to damage the phone. So, you know, and in all seriousness, that was kind of a joke in the sense that, yeah, you know, if I use my hands, I could just wipe it down. But no, that's the good old days, you know, back when my production quality was lower. But you know, as I got out of school and I had more time on my hands, I was able to dedicate more time to actually editing and putting more production value into my videos. And I hope you guys have noticed that, and you know, I've done a decent job at it, and you guys appreciate it because you know, it can be difficult sometimes to get all that done. And I think that's my issue is I understand that I'm doing my best. I do suffer from different health issues, and you know, they sometimes make it difficult for me to get videos out on time. But I always do my best to give you guys videos on time. I'm working on another one right now. It's actually, I'll give you a hint. It has to do with an old hobby of mine that I featured on the channel back in 2013 and 14. So if you guys are interested, or if you guys want a hint, I will give you, let's see, how big of a hint is this? It has to do with metal. Let's put it that way. All right. So I don't know how big a hint that is, but it's related to a hobby of mine, which is related to metal. And it's a product unboxing and review. So hopefully you guys appreciate that. And then, of course, I've got plenty of other videos coming out. I'm hoping to do another video, like I said, on the mask review, as well as proper mask removal protocol to avoid cross-contamination and that sort of thing. I think that you guys would probably be interested in different. I mean, I'm interested to hear how you guys are doing during this whole situation. I've heard from Mig. I haven't heard from a lot of other people. Someone just commented. Mullica Hill says hello. I don't know who Mullica Hill is, but hi. So yeah, I mean, AC. I don't know who that is. Oh, how's it going, man? Hey, it's good to see you on the stream. Yeah, it's an old friend of mine. That's all right. I couldn't. I wasn't sure who that was at first. Yeah, no, that's the other thing. You know, you popping in is it's great to see you. One of the things that I also want to bring up is that I normally bring you guys coverage from different car events that I go to, whether it's the Ford Nationals or the Vintage Grand Prix. It's still up in the air whether or not I'm actually going to be able to go to that. The Ford Nationals initially were scheduled for the end of May through June 3rd. They've now been pushed back to the end of June through July 4th or whatever. Or is it August actually? Maybe it's the end of August. Maybe it's the end of July through August. Through the beginning of the first week of August. But yeah, it's unclear whether or not I'm going to be able to go, or if it's even going to be held at all. But I would hate to miss out on it. But obviously, if the virus takes off again, it's obviously not going to be a good idea to do that. So if I do go, and if it still happens, you can bet that I'll be doing what I can to film it. If it does happen, though, I can already tell you right now, I'm predicting a pretty poor turnout. I can't imagine that there's going to be nearly as many vendors and people going to begin with. And normally the event goes from like a Thursday setup day through a Sunday, cleanup day, and so that's like a 4-day event. All things considered, I honestly don't think it's going to be more than maybe like a Friday and early Saturday event. I think everybody's just going to leave because I don't think that too many people will show up, and it's sort of like a chicken and the egg thing where if a bunch of people don't, if not that many people show up to show their cars, then not that many spectators are going to stick around, and then vendors will see that there's not that many spectators or cars there, and so they're not going to stick around or show up at all. And then people are going to be like, all right, well, there's no vendors to look at, so why would I stick around? It's a negative feedback loop, right? So, and then I haven't heard anything on the Vintage Grand Prix, but I haven't even purchased tickets for it because I'm kind of iffy on it even happening. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But hopefully you guys have been doing okay. I know that for now, food shortages and supply shortages aren't really that bad. I could see some interruptions coming and going. I don't think a whole full scale collapse of the supply chain is going to happen. But I have seen a lot of other people talk about this, and I'll bring it up here since I'm streaming to you guys. It doesn't hurt to start a garden. There's never been a better time. Well, I mean, the best time to have learned how to garden and farm and grow food would have probably been 10 years ago or 3 years ago or hell even last year. But if you have the space and you have the time being at home and everything, it's worthwhile to start a garden and grow things that you can eat. Now, obviously, you guys know that, well, maybe you don't, but in the past I did videos on different keto meals and foods and stuff like that, or certain foods I can't have. There are a lot of foods that I can't have, but there are certain plant foods that I can eat, and so those are the ones that I focus on in my garden: garlic, onions, that sort of thing. Find stuff that works for you and grow it because it's just one less thing you have to worry about. I think for most people, it's going to be impossible. It's not a realistic goal to live off of your land. That's for most people. They just don't have the space, the time, or the resources to do that. And I don't think that you should, set too lofty of a goal. I think that's one way to set yourself up for failure. But if you just have a little bit of space, even just growing a little bit of extra food just gives you that extra bit of security. So during this trying time, that's all you can really do. With regards to some of the things that might be happening this summer, in addition to obviously the pandemic, from what I understand, it's actually a La Nina year, which is a different weather phenomenon over the El Nino, and this could lead us to have a very cool, wet summer. And when I say cool, I don't necessarily mean that it's going to be like below freezing and the year without a summer. Or something like that, but it could result in some levels of crop failures and low yields due to either poor sunlight and also the humidity, which would and the constant damp, which could cause serious mold and rot to set in crops and basically ruin them before they can be harvested. So I will never condone fear mongering, and I don't want you to think that I'm telling you that the end is nigh and the sky is falling. But I've been saying that since January to my friends and to you guys to some extent, that being prepared never hurt. And if you buy stuff that's long-term storage food that you already eat, so obviously don't buy food that you find disgusting just because it's in a can. It'll just be helpful so that if there are any bumps in the road, you can sort of smooth out those bumps. If there's a dip in the supply and it's harder to buy something, well, you got a little bit in on your shelves at home, so you can smooth that out so there's less of an interruption to you. But anyway, let me get back to the comments. I saw some comments here. How do you feel about supercars, bro? Well, I think supercars are some of the most crazy looking displays of sort of art on wheels, and I really do like that aspect of them. I personally wouldn't own one, and they're personally not my favorite thing in the world, just because it's just not what I'm into, right? But I have a lot of respect for the engineering and the design and the build, and a lot for most of them, the hands-on assembly that goes into supercars. And yeah, of course, they're very unreliable. Uh, I think it's, what is it, Ferraris? Um, Maybe it's either Ferraris or Lamborghinis. They have a battery drain problem. So basically, if you don't put them on a tender, or drive them frequently, the battery will be dead in less than a week, right? I mean, imagine a normal car that you could park and then in less than a week the battery's dead. That'd be unthinkable. Um, and of course, they're not practical. But they're not made to be. They're made to be. They're made to be like the closest you can get to a street legal version of a race car in many ways, and I think that aspect of them is pretty cool. It's kind of like the engineering feat. Um, Mig says there's this car YouTuber whose name is the Stradman. He's awesome. You should try to watch him, bro. Yeah, I'll have to check him out. So he does. Does he do supercar videos, or what does he do? But yeah, I've been trying to. Oh, you know what, guys? I will, also, if you guys are interested. Okay, so he does do supercar videos. Okay. But yeah, if you guys are interested in, I'll tell you what. I will put up a poll. Okay, he said, you say he's working on a Jeep Gladiator 6x6. Wow, yeah, that would be a pretty cool project, honestly. Yeah, the first gen. Yeah, I'm more partial to the first gen Ford GT. But he has a Corvette C8. Yeah, I'll have to check them out. I do watch a decent amount of different car tubers as it were, but I haven't been watching them as much recently, so I'll have to get back into that. But yeah, I'll tell you what, guys. I'll probably only stay on a bit longer, but if he has an Aventador. Okay, so I'll definitely leave a poll in the community tab of the channel at some point in the next few days about, and just feel free to check it out, because I know a lot of people don't even realize or don't get the notifications for the posts that I put in the community tab. So go there and check it out. And I want to know what you guys think with regards to what videos you'd like to see more of. So I think with polls, it only gives me an option for 4 choices, maybe 5, but I'll do the big ones. And if you guys want to vote on that, just give me an idea of what you guys are looking for, what you think I should do more of. Obviously, this channel has always been based on all different kinds of my interests, so I don't box myself into one category. But if there's anything that I am sort of not doing enough of and there's more demand for, I'll always try and help you guys out and show you guys more of what you want. If I get votes across the board that sort of shows there's no real preference amongst my community here, I'll try and do more of everything. So definitely, let's see what the comments are saying here. He's saying he has the Aventador, Ferrari 430. Wow, 500 horsepower Mark V Supra. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. What do you think about the new the new Supra that Toyota's got for what is it, 2020? I think it's kind of a joke as far as Toyota goes. But yeah, guys, if you just joined the stream, I don't want to beg, but the reason I ask, could you guys like the stream for me, because it helps to get this out to other subscribers, because YouTube for some reason doesn't show the notification to everybody. So if you like the stream, it really helps out. Just make sure that everybody that wants to see it will end up seeing it in their notifications. Um, and yeah, so and even after the stream is over, people will still be able to see it. So see, yeah, you said it's Mig says it's crap. It completely dishonors the Mark IV Supra. Yeah, I don't really even know much. I'm not really a Toyota guy, but I can tell you that that's no Toyota. That it's just a BMW, a rebadged BMW. And I never understand that. I mean, I understand that they just wanted to get something out there, but why? Why would you do that? And furthermore, why would you buy one? I mean, obviously, if you just want the cool hot new car, then sure, buy it, whatever. But if you are an actual Toyota fan and you're an actual Supra fan, why would you buy it? I mean, that's like if I bought if Lincoln came out with a new Mark series, right? But it was actually just a rebadged Cadillac, right? Who in their right mind would buy that, right? Because the only reason you come out with something like that is because of the aura, of the reputation, of the history behind the name, right? And the fans, the loyal fans of that name, of the brand. So why would you think that it would be a smart idea to come out with a totally phony car that, yeah, maybe you put the right exterior panels on it to kind of make it look like a Supra, but at the core of it, it's not at all a Supra. Doesn't have a Supra engine, doesn't have a Supra base chassis. And so why would you do that? The only reason you would create a car like that in the first place is to win over the old guard that is still so loyal to the old generations of that particular nameplate that aren't even made anymore. The whole goal is to take those people away and from their old classics and be like, you can love your classics, but here we're reintroducing the car so you can enjoy it now. It's kind of the way that I think that, for example, it's not the same in the same vein, but because I'm familiar with Lincoln, I will give you this example. It's like when in the mid, let's see, after 2011, when the town car was discontinued with the entire Panther platform, as you know, there's a model called the Lincoln MKT, and the MKT is, in my opinion, it's pretty ugly. I don't like it. It is sort of the minivan of the Lincoln world, and while it is certainly very spacious and comfortable on the inside, and I won't knock that aspect of it at all, it is nice on the inside, it's just hideous on the outside. It looks like this weird stretched thing, but it's not really a hatch, but it's definitely not a sedan, and it's not attractive. Well, after the town car was discontinued, Lincoln, in their infinite genius, decided to slap on the town car name onto the MKT. And for the livery version of it, for like limo use and chauffeur use, they called it the Lincoln MKT town car. Why? Why would you do that? The only reason people want the town car name, the only reason to use it, is because it comes with everything, all the history and the prestige and the heritage of the town car name. So you take that away and you slap it on this, minivan looking ugly Lincoln. It's no surprise people were pissed off about that, and so they didn't do that for very long. And actually, I don't think they even make the MKT anymore. But it's obviously not in the same vein because it was still a car that they made, so it's not like they took like a Honda and then put a Lincoln badge on it. Obviously, it was still a Ford platform, but no, definitely, just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So anyway, guys, I want to say one last time, I'm going to be ending this real soon. Thank you guys so much for all your support, getting us to 5,000 subscribers. You know, I never would have believed that we could get here. Mig says it looks like a PT Cruiser. Yeah, it really does. It's pretty ugly. It looks like a stretched PT Cruiser. Like if you took a PT Cruiser and you just pulled the rear end out a little more, it's not a good look. But again, I really appreciate all the support. You know, you guys are why this channel exists. I will, since nobody has popped on to the stream, at least not live, to you know, give me any ideas of what you guys are looking for, or what areas you think I should focus on content. I'll leave that poll in the community tab of my channel so that you guys can check it out later and vote on what you guys think is what you guys think would be a better area for me to focus. And as always, I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thanks for watching. Like the stream again if you want to support me, because it'll help. It'll definitely help make sure that everybody gets to see this, because YouTube for some reason doesn't send out notifications unless it gets the interactions like from likes and comments. So anyway, guys, peace. I will see you guys in the next video, and check the community tab for that that poll for sure, because I want to hear from you guys on what videos and topics and things you'd like to see. But like I said before, that little hint I gave you, I've got something related to one of my hobbies, and it's a product review unboxing that's coming up. That'll be my next video, and then I'll do some videos on the pandemic and maybe some solar generator stuff. So anyway, guys, I will see you very soon. But thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting me to this amazing milestone. May not be crazy for a lot of people, but for me, it means a lot.